Yes, Apurva, Christina, and Andrea, please present your work.
Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to be discussing multinational corporations or MNCs. Along with me, I have Andrea and Christina, and we are going to discuss this today.
Introduction. Most regions of the world are getting increasingly interconnected. While this interconnectedness across countries have many dimensions, such as cultural, political, social, and economic, this chapter looks at globalization in a more limited sense. It defines globalization as the integration between countries through foreign trade and foreign investments by multinational corporations, MNCs.
As you may know, we have a wide range of options in today's economic market. We can go to a shopping mall and find products from all over the world. Sometimes it's Swiss chocolate or American cars. And this is proof of MNCs. Your favorite brands like Adidas and Lindt, they're all MNCs, multinational corporations that have production setups all over the world. So, what are multinational corporations? So, if we look at the past 30 years or so, we find that there are a lot more companies that are putting up their establishments all over the world, and they've been a major force in the globalization process. It's because of globalization that we know about the happenings of the other, what are happening in the other side of the world, and it's because of the internet and multinational corporations that globalization has been uh, going forward in such a high rate. So, as consumers in today's world, some of us have had a wide choice of goods and services. And this is proof of multinational corporations. What are multinational corporations? They are a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. Multi meaning more than one national country, and corporation meaning the company. They set up offices and factories for production in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources. This is why India is a country that a lot of multinational corporations come after. We have a lot of labor and we're very rich in resources. This is done to cut the production and earn greater profits. These companies operate worldwide and are hence known as global enterprises. The activities are controlled and operated by the parent company worldwide. Production and services of MNCs are sold around various countries which require global management. So, for example, we have a company like Maggie. They have operations in India and all over the world, but we are still importing Maggie to UAE so that it can reach your stomach. This is proof that Maggie is a multinational corporation that's under Nestle, I presume. High turnover and many assets, aggressive marketing are some of the major features of multinational corporations like LTI, TCS, Tech Mahindra, Deloitte, Capgemini, and are many major examples of MNCs in India. Here are some famous brands like Toyota and many other car companies. They're all MNCs, Cisco and Gucci. Many of you will be familiar with this. Next, we'll be looking into the positives and negatives.
So the positives of MNC. Firstly, multinational corporations hire local workers who know the culture of the place, and thus they will be able to give helpful feedback on what the locals like. Thus, they provide better employment opportunities. Secondly, Multinational corporations employ both local and foreign workers, and because of this, they are able to come up with products that are more creative and innovative. Then thirdly, the investment level, employment level, and income level of the country increase due to the operation of MNCs. Thus, they help in the overall development of a particular area or country.
Yes, girls? Can you find any more positive parts of MNCs? See, MNCs they generate jobs. Yeah, developing nation will have lot of job opportunities for the youth. At the same time, our finance or capital also will be saved because they come with their own capital.
Now, so you said Martin Spencer gives production to Sri Lanka. So does Sri Lanka's economy increase because of this?
See, every economy will have some or other support. If they are buying raw material from Sri Lanka, they get money for that. The yarn is made, say, for example, in Thailand, there also people get employment. At the same time, the technology, which is a developed technology of the MNC, will also be shared with those Thailand people. Then the cloth which is being prepared and sent to Bangladesh, the patterns of shirts also will be there. So the tailors are just following the patterns. So they are also getting skilled. And lot of employment is generated in Bangladesh as well. And all these developing nations are getting supported because of this MNC's work. Yes, Apurva. Next.
Okay, so now we will be discussing about the negatives of MNCs. So the first point that I have is competition from MNCs affect local industry adversely. So this is quite obvious that when there are large-scale industries coming up, especially multinational corporations, it will definitely affect the small-scale industries, especially cottage industries, and it will reduce the demand and sale of local productions. Next, it limits the number of choices that are available to consumers at the local level. It is quite interconnected with the first point. And the third point is since the MNCs prefer foreign employees instead of hiring locals, it is a threat to the local labor force. Now, this is not the case with all MNCs, but major MNCs do this because they have greater trust with foreign employees. And to prevent such problems, a great example we have in UAE is Emiratization, and in Oman, we also see Omanization. So these are few negatives of the MNCs.
Very nice. Good example.
Multinational companies can reduce employment opportunities. Then multinational companies exploit local labor and resources by paying relatively lower prices and lower taxes than local firms while obtaining high profits that are largely repatriated. And the presence of MNCs creates monopoly building opportunities.
Correct.
An MNC not only sells its finished products globally, but it also produces globally. So, as a result, production is organized in increasingly complex ways. Do you have any questions?
It was good, all clear.
Thank you.